Okay, I got another Tascam. This is another one of those DAT ones. This one, again, is going to be a belt. And this time we're going to just change the belt as quickly as possible without tearing the whole thing down. This is the simplest one to do. And you should be able to do this in just a couple of minutes. So let's get started and change the belt on this DAP one. Welcome to another episode where we're going to work on some more audio equipment here. Today I've got another Tascam unit in. We're just going to shut off my music here that I've been enjoying while I've been prepping to do this video. And this is another one that was sent in. It's another one of these ones that's gone all sticky. It's another Tascam. What is this? It's the same one I think as we had before. What is this thing called? DAP1 Tascam. And this is the same fellow that sent me the other one. He sent me two of them, and this is the second one that he sent in for repair. So let's take the battery out of this thing first of all, and we'll power this one up and see what it does. So I'm using the adapter from the other one. And we'll see if this one does anything. Well, it sounds like the motor running there. Hold. Is the hold switch turned on? Turn that off. Sounds like a belt that's slipping on this one. I've received the belt for this one. He sent me the belt. There's the belt, and it's got the information where he got the thing. So he's bought it off eBay from Vintage Audio Inc. So I'll give them a bit of a plug here. And it says Tascam DA30 Mark II DA40 difficult to find loading belt. It's not that difficult to find because O-ring will do the same job, but there's the little belt there. So we're going to open this unit up and replace the belt and see if that's all that is required on this one, and then I can send this one back to the owner and make him happy, and he can deal with the sticky cabinet, because this is, you can see the marks from the bubble wrap. The bubble wrap was melting into this stuff is just. The manufacturers that use this stuff should have been taken out back and beaten. And I refer to the car manufacturers that put this crap in their car too, because I've seen a few cars that have got like this on the dash, rubberized. Coating, anti-slip, or whatever reason they've put it on there. But this is the same person that sent me the two Sonys, one that was repairable and one that had the damaged ribbon, and say two of these and the DA40. So one of the Sonys was repaired, the DA40 was repaired, and the other one of these was repaired. So you'll have 4 working DAT machines out of 5. I guess 4 out of 5 isn't bad. Got almost as many DAT machines as I have. I have a TCD 75ES, or TCS, the TCD 75ES Sony, 75ES anyway. I've got I think it's a 690 ES as well, or is it just a 690 Sony? And I've got a Panasonic that works, sort of. I've got a DA30 but not a DA30 Mark II, just a DA30. There is a difference. I got a DA30, and I've got 2 DA40s. A TCD D3 Sony, and a portable, what was it, DA20, I think. Got TAC portable, similar to this one, but with the TAC branding on instead of Tascam. You know, I went down to the thrift store again, I'm looking for a cassette deck to try and rob a motor out of to repair a broken one that I've got. And well, I haven't had much luck finding cassette decks because all the cassette decks that I've been finding, the amount of money that they're asking for a cassette deck, it's like $40 to $50 for an old beat up cassette deck. There was an NEC today at the place, and they were asking, I think it was $45 for this NEC. I couldn't believe how much they were asking for it. I thought, this is ridiculous for an old cassette deck. That kind of money, it's ridiculous. Especially since I only want it for one thing. I just want it to cannibalize, to take the motor out of it. It's not worth spending $45 for a tape deck that I'm going to rip the motor out of. Even a ghetto blaster, they had some cheap ghetto blasters, like ones that would have sold for like $49 brand new, and they were asking like $35 for a ghetto blaster with cassette. It's like, are you on drugs? I don't think so. I'm going to try and change this thing without even doing any more than taking the circuit board out, because now I know where the belt is. I should be able to get this belt out and get the new one in without much of an effort. So let's just lift the old belt out here. There it is. Let's see if I can lift and see if I can get the new one in. There's the old slippy belt. Got the new belt here. Okay, put the screws back in. The one that has got a metal thread, the other ones all have like a plastic type thread. The one that with the metal thread actually goes in right here, which is the only screw that is actually threaded. The rest of them are going into metal. That one there has it's going into plastic. And it's the only one that this screw will actually screw into. Go figure. The rest of them all go into metal, and they are of the self-tapping type, like this. Another tape deck full of ticking time bombs. Of course, I'm referring to all these. They haven't failed yet. Chances are down the road, well, they may or may not fail. I think most of the problems that people had with these surface-mounted electrolytic caps were ones that were made back in the early to mid 80s, even into the late 80s. By the 1990s, they had that problem pretty much solved. Oh, look at all the dirt that this thing picked up just because of how sticky it is. It's going to need a good cleaning when it gets home. I've been instructed not to clean it, so I'm not going to clean it. But let's see whether this thing... Oh, look, it opens. Bet it works. Let's drag out a DAT tape and plug it in. Power. Play. I don't like the sound of that. It does not appear to be working. So this one has more problems than just a belt. We'll just remove the cassette cover and try to activate this unit so that we can see what exactly it is trying to do or what it is not doing. So when I close this down, if I push the cassette down switches here, it should so it does load the tape. And what happens when I put it into gear? Rewind is working. How about fast forward? Oh, play is turning, but it did eat my tape. We'll try that again and see what happens. It threaded the tape. Tape is moving. Wonder if it just didn't thread right. Must have, because it's playing. That was weird. Fast forward works. Rewind. Perhaps my tape was loose because it appears to be working now. Okay, well that's a good sign. I didn't have to take the mechanism apart. All the little brake pads are intact. As you can see if you look down there, the little brake pads are intact and the mechanism appears to be functional. The pinch roller has not turned to goo like some of them did. I had one that the pinch roller just melted on. I actually have two of the TAC versions of this, but one of them, the pinch roller, is just turned to mush, so I just use it for parts. The other one is functional. Here's the old belt. It's kind of gotten kind of stretchy. I'll do a test recording on this machine. I'll do a test recording on his tape, for that matter. I've got his tape is here. We'll load up his tape, do a test recording. I recorded some stuff on his other decks on here, so we'll just go past where I recorded. Do a test recording and make sure it's working. Neat thing about these displays is that it'll display the absolute time code. So I'm going to plug my audio player in. We'll do a quick test recording. Right, one other thing about the DAT format is, even if you don't know where the end of the tape is, if you fast forward, it'll go past the end of the tape, and then it'll say tape end, and it's going to reverse back, and it's going to find the actual end and sit there waiting for you so that you're ready to make a recording. So then you just tap your record button. That'll put you into what they call E to E mode, which is basically analog to digital, digital to analog, and it's now ready to go. But it's not, it hasn't started the head drum or anything up yet. It's just sitting there waiting for me to do something, like cue my music up. So if I cue my music, so I got my music cued. If I'm ready to go into full standby, I hit record and the pause button, and then it'll start the record light flashing, telling me it's ready to go. If I just hit record and play from get-go, it would go into, I believe it goes right into record, but record and pause puts you into standby, and then when you're ready to record, you just hit the pause button again. That releases the pause, and then cue your music, and it will start recording. And there's both meters displaying the audio going in. We'll just record this track on here, play it back, make sure it's recording properly, and then I'll put this one back together, and this one can go back where it came from. And hopefully the owner of this is going to do something with this rubber, deteriorated rubber. Myself, I'd be stripping it just because it's tacky, but I guess there's ways you can try to treat this, clean it up a bit, but it's all these units that went like this, it's just crap. Why manufacturers put this stuff on, I have no idea, but I've had camcorders that have gone like this too, right? It's almost like a dulling spray. When I worked in broadcast there for a while, or in the community station, we used to, if we had a performer coming on with a nice shiny guitar, I mean, this is horror stories, right? But you'd have a performer come on and he's got a really nice shiny guitar, and it's or a trumpet or something, right? Saxophone, something brass, really, really shiny. And we would go and we would spray their instrument down with a dulling spray, which sprayed like a waxy coating onto the surface to make it less reflective, because back in the days with tube cameras, you got a lot of flares off the lights and they could actually damage the camera if you had a really, really reflective surface and you were getting like a 2K light reflecting right back into the camera lens. Well, that could do damage to a $100,000 camera. So obviously in the studio we would spray this crap all over their instruments just to dull them down a bit. The guy with his nice blonde top Gibson, here we are spraying dulling spray on it. The guy's freaking out, right? But it reminded me of this stuff. This is what it felt like, and you could remove it, you could polish it off, but still, it felt. This is what it felt like once you sprayed this stuff on, and it dried. This is what it felt like on everything. It felt like this rubber coating that is deteriorated, and then we would clean it all off, right? With I don't know what the heck we used to clean it off with, but anyway, it would get all wiped down. And I remember a few musicians that came in to play, they weren't too happy. They're having to take all the strings off their guitar, right, so they could polish it all off the fretboard, and yeah, they weren't happy about it. But such is life. Wasn't my call. It was the director that said, no, too shiny, we got to spray some dulling spray. Wasn't me that did it either. The production assistants got that job, so they're the ones that were getting yelled at, not me.
I was typically either doing camera or running the switcher in the control room, so I wasn't the guy getting yelled at, but the floor director sure was.
Anyway, let this thing record, and we'll play it back. There it is. It's done. We'll stop it. We'll go back and press skip back. That should take me back to the beginning of that track. Skip back. There we go. That should take me to the beginning of that track, and it should play. play. Oh, I went back one too far. Let's go to the next one. Oh, you know what? I didn't have the auto index turned on. That's what's happened there, I think. Should be playing here somewhere. Yeah, I didn't have the auto index turned on. That is why we did not index it. There it is on playback, sounding good. Okay, you can rewind this tape now. Put this one back together and send it back. So that's how you change the belt quickly on one of these little Tascam DAP ones, as you could see in this episode. Unlike the first one that I did, where I had never actually taken one of these ones apart before, I went a little bit crazy on that. I took out more than I really needed to take out. It was actually a lot easier to do, because all you have to do is just remove, like the last one I took the front and everything off, right, to get at it, not knowing where I had to go, how far I had to go into the thing. But this one here is a little bit easier, just because I'd done one before and knew where the belt was and how easy it was to access. It's like right down here. All you need is your good old trusty dental pick and remove the screws so that you can lift the board out like 1/4 of an inch, so you can get in there and fish the belt in place, and then the bottom cover just drops back on, just like that. And we have a bunch of screws to go in. They are different lengths, so I did keep them separate so that I know which screws go where. Yeah, I know. I could get lazy and use this thing. It's no faster. Right, you could do that. Or I could just use the manual screwdriver. And that's a short one. There, that one's all back together. I'll put the battery in that no doubt does not even work. I can't see that this battery would ever hold a charge, considering the age of it. But this probably just uses AA sized nickel cadmium batteries in it anyway. Yeah, batteries themselves are totally dead. But anyway, it's back together. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.